The sister, the groom's sister. I'll help you up here.
I like to walk around. Okay, so I'm gonna try not to read this, but just in case I have this right here. But it does have 5%, so it might shut down too. So I'm gonna speak through the heart. If anybody doesn't know who I am, my name is Alexis Ann Klein. I am Christopher Warren Klein's sister, aka Bro, because he's my bro and he's a bro. AKA Chrissy Pissy. Pissy Bro. Chris Stop Her. Brother. And as everybody else knows him, Chris. But I call him Christopher, and I'm going to call him Christopher for the rest of my life. Anyways, I know everybody out there that is a sister that has a brother. They always say that their brother is probably the most annoying brother out there. So I know it's cliche, but Christopher was probably the most annoying little brother I've ever had in my whole entire life. He was the worst. 6 a.m. wake-up calls. He beat me up all the time. He even tricked having frostbite, so I would pull him up with a sled going uphill in the snow in Tahoe. Later finding out that he was totally fine and I was crying and just pissed off. But as much as he was the worst brother, he was also the best brother in the world. I remember when he started telling me that he loved me before he went to sleep, and he wouldn't go to sleep until I told him that I loved him back. No, seriously, I'd be like, just get out of here. He's like, just say, I love you. I'm like, okay, I love you. Go to sleep. Get out of here. And I think that one of my most favorite things that I've done with my brother has been watching him grow up and become this man, because literally it happened overnight. He went from, little Chris to, oh hey, I'm Chris. He was working out, he was doing whey protein, doing jumping jacks and all of that in the backyard. So seriously, one summer he came back from college and he literally looked like a man, and a very handsome man. I was like, that's my brother. But yeah, so another thing that I've always loved, and I think that, he's always been the best brother, but he has also been one of my best friends. And the moment that, Christopher, that you became, I think, one of my best friends, was when you moved home from college and you and I were living at home with Mom. And every day we would have deep conversations, we'd eat trail mix, because my mom always has trail mix in her house, Costco. And we'd go to Whole Foods and we'd buy kombucha every day. And that was the time that all of his fraternity brothers started telling him that I was turning him into a hippie. But I was okay with that, but I'm not a hippie, everybody.
Yeah, right.
And so just watching him grow up, watching him grow in his business, watching him grow in his heart and his mind, I was just so excited for him to meet an amazing woman, because I know he would make an amazing partner. And newsflash, he did. He did. He met the most amazing Klein-Hollman. And I'm serious, I'm not just saying this, but the minute I met her, I knew that she was for Christopher. Because not only was she beautiful, because he likes beautiful women. I think we learned after my dad. Christopher loved beautiful women. So not only was she beautiful, but she was also very down to earth. She was a hard ass. Marisa, you're compassionate. You love with all your heart. You always made me feel comfortable. You always picked up the slack when I needed it. And I've always appreciated you. And I think the moment that I really fell in love with Marisa was when I saw her and how she loved my mom. That really got me. Especially living with my mom for 4 months and just seeing how you guys had your relationship, you had me right there. And I know that my grandparents aren't here, but I know my grandma and grandpa would have loved you so much, and I know you would have loved them as well. So, with that saying, Christopher and Marisa, I am so excited to watch you grow as a whole, to watch all of us grow as a family, for you guys to build your empire, because I know you will, and you already have. You're the most amazing couple. You're handsome, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you guys always have my back, and I'm always here for you guys, and I love you so much. That was a mic drop, by the way.
Everyone scream one more time for Alexa. Alright, I think it's now it's time to bring up the maid of honor. Everyone, let's bring up
So I wanted to start off my speech by giving Chris and Marie. Oh wait, sorry, Marisa. I wanted to start off by giving Chris and Marisa some marital advice. However, my boyfriend Justin reminded me if I want the marriage to last, I should probably not be giving them any type of vision. So I'm just going to start with the speech. Maurice and I have known each other since we were little girls. But our friendship really blossomed when she decided to switch high schools after our sophomore year. After that, I'm pretty sure Greg and Michelle fed me more than my own parents did. We were connected at the hip. If it wasn't a sleepover, it was a road trip. If it wasn't a road trip, it was a prom. If it wasn't that, it was switching off being a designated driver so one of us could do some good old-fashioned underage drinking. And after we graduated high school, Marisa headed off to Santa Barbara and I headed up to Chico. Little did I know, I was just a few short months away from meeting Marisa's future husband. That first meeting was quite memorable, Chris. It involved Chris and his fraternity brothers hazing me. I was a sorority pledge. Don't think I forgot about that. But even though Marisa and I were hundreds of miles apart, we still stayed very close and even managed to visit each other ever so often. To do what Chico and Santa Barbara kids do best. Drink, party, we're doing right now. Really good at that. But then came real life. And luckily, I didn't have to go at it alone. Reese and I ended up living down the street from each other on the creek. And just as fate would have it, one day, I was able to convince Marisa to buy a Super Bowl ticket to a party in San Francisco that was being hosted by none other than my friend Chris Klein. In fact, one of the deciding factors to convince Marisa to go to a party where she wasn't going to know anyone was that the host was cute and single. Just like Marisa. Weird. When we got to the party, Chris was one of the first people Marisa met, and they hit it off instantly. By instantly, I mean literally a week later, Marisa was calling me, telling me about their third date, which was Valentine's Day that Chris had planned. Fast forward 4 months, Maurice and I are moving out of Walnut Creek. We're moving into an apartment into San Francisco together, and we're living just a few blocks from Chris. This is when I really started to get to know Chris a little better. Sometimes I got to know him better than I'd like. On the weekends, in the morning, Chris had a routine. It wasn't like most routines that you expect from your friend's boyfriend. He didn't wake up, brush his teeth, wash his face, shower, nothing like that. He'd wait till everyone was awake to make his move. He'd walk out into the living room where everyone was socializing. In nothing but his boxers. Oh wait, hold on, that's not true. He would have a sock, stuffed in front. And then he'd proceed to go like this. Shortly after the sock incident started happening. I thought my dress was stuck on my sock, sorry. I don't know how you men do this, it's really hard. But in all seriousness, shortly after the sock incident started happening, Maurice and I were having dinner. I remember it like it was yesterday. I asked her if she thought Chris was the one. And she looked at me in the eyes with the most confident yes I've ever seen, and that's when I knew there was no turning back for them. Before I knew it, Marisa was breaking some devastating news. Not for her, but for me. She was moving out. And I was going to have to replace 2 irreplaceable roomies. But I knew at that point I was going to have to share Marisa with Chris for the rest of my life. But despite the fact that I'll forever share my best friend, I know without a doubt that she's found someone that loves her just as much as I do, and that will always take care of her. I consider myself lucky that my best friend is marrying someone that I also consider my friend as well. I'm honestly so happy for the 2 of you and so honored to be part of your special day. So before we toast the newlyweds, I'd just like to say, Chris, I know now that you're married, you think it's okay to be an old man and go to bed at 10. But tonight there's no old man Chris allowed, because this is a Hollman party. Exactly. So cheers to Chris and Marisa Klein. I love you guys.
One more time for the maid of honor. I've ever witnessed. That was good. So how about it? Let's bring up the best man, shall we? That's a tough one to follow there. It's all right, though.
Good evening. My name is Steve. I met Klein freshman year, Chico State. Memories of what Klein looked like back then. But I'll share more on that later. I first want to start off by thanking Maurice's parents, Greg and Michelle, for making this wedding happen. The only thing more beautiful than this venue is your daughter. I mean that. 1 point, Steve. I'd also like to extend my gratitude to Klein's mom, Phyllis. And his dad, David. For hosting a wonderful rehearsal dinner last night. When Klein asked me to be his best man, I was honored. Then I thought, what am I going to say in my speech? So I began my research. Hopped on Google, typed in best man, best speeches. Came across some interesting facts about what guests tend to be thinking about during the best man speech. Now, these are from Google, so of course they're 100% fact. So listen closely. Apparently, 35% of you are wishing the best man would shut up so you could refill your drink and hit the dance floor. Well, that's comforting and helps ease my nerves. 15% of you are thinking about the marital status of the best man and what, if anything, he's wearing under his perfectly tailored suit. I'm married, ladies, but thanks for pitching me wearing my Calvin.
I saw it.
10% of you are still trying to figure out who is single and will most likely leave alone tonight. Turns out 20% of you are thinking about the bachelor party. Moving on quickly. 10% of you are thinking, Marisa, you look beautiful tonight. And are still crying from the maid of honor speech. Thanks, Ryan. Finally, 20% of you have drank so much, you're not really thinking about much of anything. Except remaining upright. Let's recap. You're either impatient, a pervert, lonely, intrusive, or a total lush. What wonderful friends and family you have. So, how did Klein and I meet? Let's rewind to 2002, Blaston Hall dorms at Chico State. Like most confused 18-year-old freshmen searching for acceptance, they allow music to influence them in the way that they dress. Being that Klein was from the ghetto of Lafayette and listened to rap music, he wore, would you say, Klein, rather baggy sweats, baggy jeans, lugs, and Golden State Warriors jerseys. See, I was raised in San Ramon, so naturally I liked rap music too. It was the second day in the dorms. I had my music blasting, my door open, just trying to meet some friends. The next song comes on. I thought, no one has heard of this artist. Complete underground rapper. Until I hear from the neighboring dorm room, ugh! Brother Lynch is the sickest rapper ever! Safe to say that Klein and I have been friends ever since. So Greg, Michelle, congrats on welcoming Young Money, C. Klein to the family. A true gangster at heart. Alright, let's fast forward 10 years later to 2012, Super Bowl Sunday in San Francisco. For those of you that actually read the wedding website, you know this is the first time that they met. Klein was somewhat cocky in his approach. He even asked her, who do you know at the party? And she was an outsider. I'm convinced he was listening to his rap CDs that morning. Deep down though, he was elated by this girl. So much so, that after just a few weeks of dating, he asked me for a +1 at my wedding. And you would think that we extended the invite because she made our wedding place cards. She also made our programs. Made the programs twice, in fact. But the fact is, we could already tell that she was something special, and that he really liked this girl. Alright, let me be serious for just a moment. As some of you may know, I recently became a father to a beautiful little girl. Marriage is years away for her. I already worry about who she will meet and ultimately end up with. Of course, I want nothing but the best for her. Someone who's kind, funny, loving, driven, true best friend. Above all, will love her more and more each day. With 100% confidence, I can tell you that, Klein. Marisa, you have found that guy. Same is true for Klein, just the girl version, of course. You both complement each other so well. A true balance that we all need in a successful marriage. Marisa, you're going to be the perfect wife because you're thoughtful, you're supportive, motherly, Lila needs a friend, a great cook. Most importantly, you know how to put Klein in his place when he's having a fight. To wrap this up, this is something that I learned in my research. I learned that it's customary for the best man to end his speech with a quote. Sorry, Klein, this isn't a rap. But it's more of a saying, and something that I say to my wife. I write it on my cards to her. Simple. It goes like this. Never stop loving me, and I promise to do the same. So let's all toast and raise our glasses to happiness and endless love for Chris and Marisa.